I am with RE/MAX specialist Maria Raymer, and we are talking about inflation and how that could potentially impact real estate investments. So first of all, good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Jordan.
Let's define inflation before we kind of get into all the details.
Okay, so inflation is when the cost of goods and services rise and the value of the dollar drops. So basically, things cost more. You're spending the same amount of money, but it costs more.
Right, and so can you give us some examples then of how real estate can act as a hedge against inflation?
Yeah, so that's such a great question. When you buy real estate, you're locked in at a particular sales price.
Okay.
Typically, the market goes up and the price of your investment goes up, but the price that you paid is locked in. Also, when you buy real estate and you're financing that real estate, your rate being locked in at a lower rate is very helpful. Like in the environment we have now, interest rates are going up. So if you bought your real estate investment now and you locked in at the lower rate, as the rates climb, you're being protected against inflation. As the cost goes up, yours are locked in and stay the same.
Okay.
So that's why real estate provides a great hedge against inflation.
Well, let's talk about some other examples then too for when this could be. Let's talk about real estate investments other than buying a home.
Okay.
What are some benefits to that during inflation?
Yeah, this is a great time to pick up rental properties, to invest your money in real estate. Even though things are more expensive than they were, they're still continuing to go up. So it's a great time to pick up a rental investment. Even myself, I picked up a couple condos this year to put renters in there. So condos, single family homes, townhouses, and if you could get a multifamily residential purchase, that's really great because the same principle applies. You lock in your cost when you purchase, and then you can apply that same principle across multiple units. So whether you do it one or two at a time, or you pick up a multifamily building, all of these things would be a great thing to hedge off inflation.
All right, well, let's talk about back in 2008, of course, you know, that hit a lot of people hard, right? If it hit someone hard and they're scared that that could happen again, how do you alleviate some of their worries?
Yeah, so it's, you know, I understand the fear, but things have changed so much since 2008, and the same things don't apply anymore. Why the market crashed then, they're just not in this market now. However, if you look at that over the long period of time, real estate always does perform. And if owners had held their investments and not sold at that time, they would have found that their equity would have come back and they would have the equity back in those properties. And remember, even in that time, a lot of homeowners were displaced and had to go into rentals. So rental investments were thriving even back then. So it's really a good way to go even now, even with that history. But, you know, again, if you look back at the real estate history, it always, in the long run, it does perform, it protects wealth, and it always, now and in the future, will provide a hedge against inflation.
It's nice to know that you can get locked in and it wouldn't impact you, really. So that's really great. Well, let's say someone is ready to take that investment, right?
Call me.
I was about to say, how do they get in touch with you?
Go to mariaraymer.com, reach out to me. I'd be happy to explain everything to them in more detail so they could feel comfortable with either purchasing for themselves or picking up some rental properties.
Well, I'm glad we were kind of able to let people know that, hey, it doesn't mean that things are going in the wrong direction, but it might be good to have some investments just in case.
Absolutely.
All right, well, it's good to see you. Thank you
again.
You too,
Jordan. Thank you.
And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head on over to our website, firstcoastliving.net.